and then remind them to bring that partner for services. Because it's not like they're going to tell them, they have to, when you are coaching them, just tell them, okay, you are doing it, but please let them know the importance of testing, and that we have services here. You can bring them and we can enroll them in care. Yeah, the contracting power, like we said, if they fail to do it within an agreed time, that's when we take responsibility and do it for them. But if they succeed, then that's fine. But again, it's like we tell them to, if you succeed, bring them to us so that we can test them and continue with care. Feel free to break through and ask any questions if you want to. The provider one is the one that can be done. It's not just only doctors. Doctors can do it if the doctor feels like doing it. HIV counselors, trained profession, anybody who is at least knowledgeable can notify, depending on the setting, if you agree, depending on your procedure, protocols, whatever, in the hospital setting. If you agree to take on the partner services with the provider referral, depending on what you agreed on, people who are experienced in this can go ahead and do it. But again, you have to know how to convince them. The counselor must be, knowledgeable in how to get all the information. Because somebody may just tell you only one person. It's the way you talk to them. You remember, can you at least look back and try to think maybe last year, is there anybody that you think maybe it was only one time, and they can give you the names. Go ahead. Yes.
Do you take the feedback to the sender? Because someone is interested to know someone's status. So after discussing and the other person accepts to take an HIV test, do you take back?
No, you don't. No, you don't. And confidentiality, no. The only thing you can tell them is, were you able to talk to them? That's the only, you can say, yes, we did. We did talk to the person, but we can't tell you what happened. Whether they tested or they infused or whatever, we can't tell you that. That information is confidential. Did I answer your question?
Because it's a married couple.
Yes.
So, and you find that where you've been sent, the partner is negative, and there's someone who sent you was positive. So, how are we going to help out that couple?
The only way you cannot breach confidentiality as a healthcare provider. We know that you cannot tell the other person that, oh, this one is positive, the other one is negative. Like with HIV, you have to protect yourself. So if you know that somebody did this and this, that's why you give them protection, and you told them continue protecting yourself. And remember, the other person is now on medication. And I've seen couples like that. One is negative, the other one is positive for years. Especially if the gentleman is negative and the wife is positive. Because women, we know that the one who is on the bottom, the one who is on the receiving end, is the one who is most at risk. So the other one, if they are like married, and especially if the viral load is low, because it's on medication, sometimes they go for years without being infected. But again, confidentiality, you cannot tell that, okay, take off because this one is positive. Because she trusted you, and you have to keep that confidentiality. All you can do is harm reduction. It's harm reduction, that's all we can do. We cannot just say, okay, your wife is positive. They're about here. But there, if you do that, they can sue the hospital big time. If you breach that, because they are trusting you that this is what I can do, and that's how partner services has to be, to encourage people to be able to trust you and give you all this information and give you all the responsibility to go and inform the other one. But don't share the names, don't tell them, you just tell this person. Actually, I know one client I was taking care of, the wife is positive. She agreed to notify the partner through provider. The husband is negative, has been negative. And again, she tries to use condoms, but sometimes she gets drunk and she doesn't. And he said, but every time we go there, it's negative.
But does she know that the partner is HIV negative? That's her question.
Yeah, she knows.
She knows.
She knows that she's negative.
So she has the right to know the partner's status because she out of love, she was able to refer this person for HIV discovery. I think what she's concerned about, like I am concerned, is if I am in a relationship and I'm concerned about my partner and I am positive and I want to disclose, I think it's not really space, it's awareness. You're creating awareness about this guy's HIV. So I should know if my partner agreed to test and what the test result was.
This one knew that they came to me and they said that I was exposed, but I'm what? I'm negative. So he said, I don't know who put my name there, but they came to me and they are worried about me.
Yes.
But they tested him and he was negative, and he shared with the wife.
What if he doesn't share?
If he doesn't share with the wife, you cannot tell the wife that he's negative. You just tell him that you continue using. We cannot tell that, you know. You cannot tell her the other person is whatever information. You just tell her that we told him, he's aware.
But if I am HIV positive and I am concerned but I fear about disclosure, I need to know if the partner I'm relating with is HIV. I need to know the HIV status.
Yeah.
And to avoid, you know, your goal is to reduce further transmission.
Yes.
One of your goals. If we are all silent about it, then we shall never achieve that goal.
No, this person who was test provider.
Not the provider.
So when you test this person and it's negative, okay, is also being cancelled. Protect yourself, and you can also tell your partners that they may be exposed because you shared, because there's somebody that you had a relationship with who is positive. So they can go back and tell. You encourage them on their own. You encourage them to tell the partner, but you don't go and share the results and all that.
Okay. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Where the lady is HIV positive and she has sent you to the husband who you found to be HIV negative.
Yes.
And I'm thinking of a situation where the husband should be protected since he's HIV negative, and you say I don't have the right to tell the husband that your wife is HIV positive. If the wife decides not to tell the husband, will I have not left out somebody to?
Yes, what I'm trying to say here, you have to operate. But if it's going to go according to you. If you guys feel like you can add this in, that's up to you. But in the United States, you cannot tell that person. All you can do is to convince the person that they may be still having an affair with that person, so he should protect himself. And again, your aim would be to work with the client who is positive, because you're already working with her, to make sure he's on treatment for the maybe undetectable viral load. Because that's where they concentrate on this one, and the levels are so low that they don't even transmit. And there are so many such cases there of cell-discordant couples. And they live for years, one is positive, one is negative, and even the wife can conceive when the levels are low. So they just tell them, you know what, make sure you live positively, don't continue to bring other diseases to this gentleman and stuff like that. So they can even conceive babies and positive, and they live on for years when one is negative, one is positive. But if you breach that, I saw actually with one hospital, the nurse was doing, they were giving reports, and this is a married couple. So she just says, oh, did you take your HIV medication? Not knowing that the partner didn't know So he thought that, oh, she just assumed that because they live together and she's taking care of him, she knew that he was HIV positive. And she's like, oh, did you take your HIV medication? They sued the hospital big time. Of course, she was fired and all that. So you don't just assume and you don't just say that, oh, so it's negative or positive. Because some states, if he knows that you know that you are positive and you are not disclosing, it can be a criminal, whatever, and I think they are passing the bill here in Uganda. In some states in America, it's a crime, knowing the status that you are HIV positive and you are having an affair with somebody who is HIV negative. It's like murder. So,
for me, I find it really difficult for a provider to disclose somebody's status. Because I would think from the beginning, this person told you, you agreed you are not going to mention their names. You are just telling the partner, somebody you related with is positive and feels you were exposed, so send us to you so that you can be able to test and know your status and of course maybe access care. You have already agreed on that. So how would you start telling that you know your wife Alice is positive?
that what?
It becomes actually, you have let this person down. If the person has given you, for the case of provider notification,
Yes.
I don't think it is different whether United States or Uganda or where the issue of confidentiality is very important everywhere. For you to tell somebody, he has entrusted you to disclose to the exposed partners. Suppose she had 3 of them. Are you going to tell all the 3 of them?
And they exposed, yes.
You exposed them? Are you going to mention my name to them?
No. That's why I said
That's why I'm concerned that, you know, we should not think of notifying the person of the names of the person who has sent them, even here, because there are consequences. Because my friends are having they are wondering. It's like, we have not helped this one who sent me. You should tell the person that where you sent me to, that person is positive. I think let's leave it as it is. Let the person who has been encouraged to test know their status. Encourage them also to disclose to whoever they feel is exposed. If they are able to tell their wives themselves, let them tell their wives. Let's take over our hands from mentioning the names that your wife so and so is positive. It is still